Okay, so you talked briefly about a couple of how you've evolved since the original interview, and we're really going to skip over the history and everything. So I'll put it, why bore people?
You don't know where I came from.
Yeah. So, but you're still teaching.
Still teaching. Still playing. I installed a new pickup on an old guitar of mine, so that's how I'm now able to kind of convert everything to computer signal now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of new. I just have like basically new gear. So basically, I went from what was all my guitar electric setup like into pedals is now controlled by my hands.
Nice.
And I can actually, now that it's all controlled by my hands and now my guitar does all the instruments, I'm now actually like mixing all the instruments, which is why I wanted to make that transition. Usually I like to have my hands free to play and then do stuff over here. But if I'm like mixing, like controlling levels for a band or something, I wanna use my hands.
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier too.
Yeah, a lot easier. And when I now have it done, I'll have it like on 5 tracks. Mm-hmm. And one will be, drums, one will be bass, one will be guitar 1 will be guitar 2, and then maybe a vocal thing, or I can even do like horn parts. Yeah, some
nice
stuff. Yeah. So I'll like just kind of layer them, and then I can drop parts in and out whenever I want.
Okay, cool. Nice. So it's basically you've gone pretty much high tech, like a lot of bands have. You've pretty much gone high tech and compact
in this business. I mean, the technology is an unquestionable, definite thing that is just going to keep moving forward. And as musicians, if we stayed trapped in, the 70s, 80s, 90s, we're just gonna stay where we're at now. You know what I mean?
I think you get, when you just said about trapped in the past, you understand my look, considering where we live.
Yeah.
That's as far as we're gonna go with that one. But it's
the more we can really just embrace the technology part of it, and then bring our music. I mean, I'm a classic guy. I was George in a Beatle band. I've played in Zappa tribute band. I love classic music and I love psychedelic music and I love that stuff. But honestly, I think the best way to bring that back into, like, kind of inject that into our culture now is to just take that influence that we have now and use some
almost like reinvent it.
Yeah, use something modern to do it.
Here's the thing though, as far as like, a society as a whole, myself included, I'll fully admit it, that use the technology, but don't become dependent on it, and don't let the technology control the way you go. You still have to be creative and original. You still have to use your natural talent, even if it's for business in music.
And when I write, it's still back to the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Every single time. But, I'm not going to go out on a stage and do that anymore, because then you get classified in this box as the acoustic guitar player, and
yeah,
this is not my box. I'm an electric guy.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of been that.
Well, people can tell by your personality, especially in this interview. You can tell. But what I was getting at though is, as far as like even in music, people think that you can't be unlike photography and other areas, you can't become too dependent on the technology. But with the way it's so easy to put everything on a computer, record everything on a computer, and come up with any sound. Find the balance.
I showed you.
Yeah.
I recorded it in a day. I mixed it in 2 more days, and then it was done. I sent it off to CD Baby, ordered my download cards, which, by the way, I have right here. I had them at all my shows.
Okay.
I'll give you one too.
Thank you. By the way, I apologize I haven't had a chance to listen to that last time. I told you it was like I had the day laid out. Well, I should realize one thing is don't plan anything this week.
That happens. If you go there though and you grab that, and you can just put that on whatever you are listening with.
Cool. But the thing is is to still find the balance between the way things used to be with the creativity and the originality, and merge it with the new technology. In other words, still use your own instincts to create the music, create the songs, create the art. Just use the technology to refine it and evolve it, and possibly find a new sound.
And now with my new setup too, it's great because it's now all through the computer.
Yeah.
So when those new sounds are developed, I just go download them.
Yep.
No problem, easy to incorporate.
And above everything else, back it up.
Yep.
If you don't,
Every single time.
to everybody, just don't put it on the computer and like with everything from Hotmail on to Google, even to Amazon, you can back it up to, there's so many, you could get terabytes worth of free cloud storage now.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely back.
I mean, hell, create 5 Google or Hotmail accounts, and guess what? You have a terabyte right there. So, but yeah, above all, everything else, no matter what you do on a computer, back it up.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, all right, well, thank you very much. And just to give everybody a little bit of a teaser, there's going to be a part 3 on this. It's just that we're going to go into something we haven't even hinted about yet.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit, but we're going to go into a room where we can properly evaluate the whole setup.
Everybody knows, one thing main feedback I get about the magazine, believe it or not, is I keep everybody surprised, where it's like one edition might be interview heavy, another edition might be, so it's like, yeah, I just like to keep surprising everybody. Why get boring?
Next teaser for the next one. Next one will be music heavy.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time, Josh.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. So, and hopefully you can get more bookings, especially next summer with all the Lehigh Valley. I swear, Lehigh Valley is one of the festival kings of the entire country.
The booking isn't the problem; it's the strategery in the booking. You know, now
Yeah.
it's not just. I'm actually turning down a lot of bookings.
Okay.
Because I don't want to go play in a bar.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I was talking about the outdoor events next year
Well, yeah,
because
outdoor events, but I mean, even those, I want to make sure that if I get on one, I don't want to be playing before John Mayer because John Mayer doesn't do what I do. You know, I want to go.
here's one for you in
with
October.
Curtis,
In
I want
October.
to go out with Humphreys McGee. I want to go out with
Yeah. Here's one for you in October. Bethlehem's Harvest Fest.
Okay.
Yeah, they just
there?
had Trouble City All Stars there this year.
See, that's
They
where-
get a variety. One of my favorite original bands, Beautiful Distortion,
Yeah.
in 2013. That's how I found out about them, was Harvest Fest.
Okay.
So they get a wide variety. So it's the Harvest Fest is another one that's just West End Oktoberfest.
Okay.
There's a lot. I was thinking more along the lines this summer of, where all the bands in the area are booked like going nuts. They don't even have to go down to Jersey Shore, down to Philly in the summer.
Yeah.
All the bands are going nuts just in the area,
Yeah.
So hopefully, we get a chance to see more of you and the bands you're involved with in the original, a lot of more original music in the area.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.